Hey guys, what's going on? JC here again with WEDGE Concepts. Thank you for checking out my channel. And in this video, I'm going to give you 6 different ways that you can invest $1,000. All right, so let's get to it. We all have bills and expenses, and I get it. So what I did was I just asked roughly about 15-20 people whom I work with, if they were to come into $1,000, what would they do with it? Now, a majority of the people, I would say like 90% of the people, said they would pay down bills. And I get that, we all got bills. So this video right here is really going to be geared to those who understand that we're always going to have bills. You're always going to have some type of utilities, mortgage, rent, car notes, car insurance, credit cards, student loans, at least for the foreseeable future, next 10, 15 years or whatever the case may be. But so this video is going to be for those who, in addition to paying their bills, instead of putting their money into their savings account, because they already have an emergency fund set up. And if you're not familiar with what an emergency fund is, then definitely check out my video on emergency funds. But for those who already have their emergency fund set up and you have $1,000, I'm gonna give you 6 ways. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first way, what you can do with $1,000 to invest, is to put it in a high yield savings account. I'm gonna include some links to everything that I mentioned here to make it a little easier for everybody. But when you look at these high yield savings accounts, they're upward of 2% or even more, but I think the average is around 1.8. So the reason why they can give you these high yield interest rates is because they don't have any physical branches. And I know people get very fearful when, if you were to take $1,000 and put it into a place, this morning traffic, I love it, folks going to work. But if you were to put it into your savings account that you can't touch a physical branch, you know, it's kind of scary. But my thing is that all of these banks have debit cards where you can actually withdraw the money. It may be a penalty, not a penalty, it'll be a fee for a transaction fee, but you'll be able to get your money within 24 hours. So my thing is that if you have your emergency fund already set up, what is it that you're going to need this extra $1,000 for within 24 hours that you can't cover your emergency fund? I mean, I don't know. But to put it in perspective, so I have a Bank of America, which I love Bank of America. I also have a credit union too. But the interest I get monthly from Bank of America, for every $10,000 I have with Bank of America, I get about $3. Is it $3? Yeah, I get about $3 a month in interest on $10,000, okay? Now, that's 0.003%. Now, if you can imagine getting 2%, this is a year, they'll give it to you monthly, but 2% over, $10,000, I'll let you do the math, and you can see the big difference there, okay? So that's the first recommendation, is to put it into a high yield savings account. Now, the second option, which I like, is to jump into the stock market, to do it yourself stock trading. I use Robinhood. I like Robinhood, but I also have a Merrill Lynch account with the Roth IRA, and I also have another account set up that allows me to trade. Now, the thing that I like about this is that if you keep it simple, okay, look at, most people have a 401k. So I know some people say the stock market is too risky, they don't want to do it, but if you're investing in a 401k, most likely your money is going to be in a target date fund, which is in the stock market, which most likely is going to be at least 90% in stocks. If you don't know what a target date fund is, check that video out too. I've done that, I've covered that as well. But if you're going to go ahead and do it that way, I recommend that you look at your 401k, you see what you're already invested in, right? So if you were Fidelity and you have a target date fund and they say, hey, here's the matchup, here's the portfolio breakdown, the allocation. You look at, oh, they have this Investo, or they have this Vanguard, or whatever the case may be, target date fund. You look inside of it. Then you can see what they're investing in, with their Apple, Microsoft, such and such. Then you can just mirror that for what you're already investing in with your 401k. Now, the good news is that because this is going to be after tax money, you'll be able to pull this money out whenever you see fit. Now, if you make a profit off of it, you will have to pay a capital gains tax. I'm not going to go deep into that. But if you take a loss, you can deduct the tax as a capital gains loss or capital gains loss, something like that. But the point is that you can actually grow this money at roughly between 6 and 10%. Okay. And that's a huge difference, a big up from 2% in a savings, high yield savings account. All right. Now, the next way, another way to invest $1,000 is the good old fashioned 529 college savings account. Okay. So you got kids, you want to start saving for their educational needs. You can go ahead and put $1,000 away. It grows interest free. When it's time for them to go to college or start school, you can go ahead and pull this money and use it towards those qualified educational expenses. Now, what if your child is a genius like all of our kids are and they get a full ride? Then what you can do is you can, of course, take the money out and you pay it'll be treated as income. So you'll go ahead and pay your tax rate based on where you are on that money. Or if you're lucky enough, your children will bless you with grandchildren and you can actually roll it into their education, because sometimes the apple does fall far from the tree and they might not have those kind of full ride scholarship kind of genes. So you can definitely do that. But again, you can pull the money out and use it as you see fit. Get them an apartment off campus, get them a car, whatever. Use it for yourself. You saved it. All right. The next way is going to be the Roth IRA. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with the Roth IRA. Again, what you do is it's after tax money. So you put money into account, you invest in different kinds of stocks and bonds, or there's also alternative investments that you can use. But because it grows tax free, you don't pay any taxes on any of the capital gains if you wait to withdraw it at 59 and a half or somewhere around there. If you pull it out early, there's no withdrawal penalty, but you will have to pay either a 15%, 20 or 25, something like that, depending on your tax bracket, depending on how long you had the stocks on that IRA. But again, it's in the stock market. It has a lot more advantages, pros and cons, depending on what you see. But a Roth IRA is a great way to take that $1,000 and let your money grow. All right. And last but not least, my favorite is if you have $1,000, why don't you go ahead and start your own business? Okay. So with this $1,000, once you do all the administrative things, you file and get your EIN number. You go ahead and you get yourself incorporated, depending on where you live. In DC, it was about $225. You want to go get yourself a website, just administrative stuff. You want to get yourself a business license. You want to use your home as a business, so you got to file certain things for that in DC. When it's all said and done, it's going to be roughly $400 to $500 just to get the legal stuff done. So that's going to help you out on the taxes. But now what you want to do is, depending on how you want to do it, if you want to use it as a side gig because you want money to come in rather quickly, then what I've done is I've come up with a quick list of a few things where I think that it'll help bring some profit in quickly. So one of the things that you have is I always hear people talk about being a dog walker, right? You love dogs. You walk your dogs on the weekend. You walk your neighbor's dogs. You can make some easy money. The other thing is that let's see. You can definitely be a tutor. If you go online, you will find that there are a lot of websites where you can actually teach English to folks outside of the U.S. And they can pay you anywhere from $6 to $12, depending on how much experience you have. And you can do that for 10, 12, 20 hours a week from your own home. Definitely check out being an English tutor or a math tutor, whichever you like. You also can be a consultant. For those like myself who work in the IT industry, it's easy to do side business. But I know folks who are mechanics who work on cars on the side. So you can have any kind of hustle, but when you got the business set up, it gives you a lot more benefits. Another thing is that you can actually do some kind of resume service. check it out. So let's say we've all seen resumes. What if somebody was to give you their resume, and let's say for $20, $25, you go ahead and just spruce up their resume. You're not guaranteeing that they're going to get this job or whatever, but you've seen resumes, you've worked on resume, you know keywords and things like that, even if it's just grammatical stuff. If you can do that within 1 hour, how many people you know can make $25 an hour? Just a thought. So I definitely like the idea of starting a business because it gives you the tax benefits and things that come along with that. But these are just 6 things which I think will, if you had $1,000 and you were wanting or willing to invest in something just to get you started, these are great ideas and great ways to get you going. All right, so that's pretty much it. I hope you found this information useful. Again, you're always going to have bills, but if for some reason, whether it be from a tax return or you just happen to save up $1,000, if you can invest that $1,000 today, tomorrow, next week, whatever the case may be, whenever you get started, just go ahead and get started. It'll definitely bring you back, or it will actually have more return for your dollar in the long run as opposed to just paying bills. Okay, so go ahead and do me a favor, check out my other videos, and let's build together. Okay, later.